Hey everybody, Dave here, Casual Shooters Podcast. Another quick update for you. I got some more information, talked to a few people, so I want to make a couple of quick updates. We're going to go ahead and go to a slideshow I've created. You'll be able to see that, and that's what we're going to do. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about real quick is the Mechanic MO3. I was able to talk to an actual Century Arms employee today for quite a while. We probably talked for about a half hour or so. And he did say that the design is being finalized. And just like Neil said, it could be expected that you would see it by the end of the year. So come SHOT Show 2024, we should have an MO3 on their guns at that point. All right, sticking with Canic, we're going to talk about a couple things real quick. When I was speaking with the employee, I said, hey, one of the questions I had is, can it handle 9mm major? I actually saw a USPSA GM who shoots open playing with the gun yesterday. There was another one with him, and they were both kind of playing with the gun. And I made a joking reference like, oh, is this your next open gun? Well, they had two rivals on display that disappeared, and I didn't know where they went. They ended up appearing later, and I'll get to that in a minute with a picture. But I asked him if it was capable of handling 9mm major, and he said officially they know for a fact the gun can handle plus P plus ammunition. So we're almost talking major power factor already with plus P plus. Remember, this is a steel frame, not an aluminum frame. Now, they do believe that it could handle 9mm major ammo. The official word, though, again, don't mishear me, don't misquote me. The official word is plus P plus. However, they do believe that it can handle 9mm major ammo. The only concerns for them, I don't even know if you want to call them concerns, as you see how I have it written. The only uncertainties are the life of the barrel and wear and tear on the internal parts. Like they don't know, they haven't fired 9mm major through there to know, oh, this pin might break or that pin's going to wear out or whatever the case is. They don't have any of that information. So if you shoot 9 major, I guess you take that risk upon yourself as to what it may or may not do to the internal parts of the gun. But that's where we're at with that. Now, here is why I asked. Look at that picture. If you look at this, the chrome steel, the chrome rival steel, it has a slide frame on it for an optic and a thumb rest. If you look at the dark side version, it has a red slide frame, no thumb rest. But I wanted to point out something. If you look at the arrows, the thumb rest sits on that slide, and literally there's two set screws on top, so it telescopes back and forth. For me, when I was playing around with it and handling it, it didn't really fit my thumb well. However, remember that little tab to the right of to the right and just below, so we'll call it 4 o'clock from the thumb rest, that comes out. And you can take that same thumb rest and you can bolt it to the side of the frame. You don't need the rest of it on there. You can literally just buy a thumb rest and bolt it onto the side of the frame right there. Now, that location will work wonders for my hands. I don't have the longest fingers, and that would still work well. If you notice the pictures on the right, they're creating their own customization of parts, and you can buy them in kits. Now, they are building a factory right now, and it should be opening here before the middle of the year or by middle of the year. And everything that they do, everything that they build in Turkey, they want to have here in the United States, so they don't have to worry about importation issues. Because right now, as we all know, with the political climates, during one presidency, they might get anything and everything they want. During the next presidency, it could be absolutely outlawed. So they're trying to avoid that. They're building the factory here. They're going to be pumping out a bunch of units, but they're also going to be building all of this customization stuff, triggers, grip panels and back straps, the frame so you could put an optic, you could mount an optic to the frame of the gun and not just on the slide. The thumb rests, they're building threaded barrels. I saw threaded barrels for several different models of Canic hanging up on their back wall. So they are really expanding into that aspect of gun manufacturing. And interestingly enough, I guess they've somewhat partnered with Shield, and Shield is actually Cerakoting. I believe that's what it is. Don't get me wrong. It could be a different coating, but they're matching their sight to the different guns. So like if you have the gray and gold Rival in poly, the polymer version, then you can buy an RMSC to put on top of it to co-witness your sights on your Rival, and it'll match the gold that's on the gun. So just an interesting little tidbit, or at least I thought so anyway. Now we're gonna move along to some other stuff, and we're gonna hit Holosun. So as I've stated, or as a lot of people know, Holosun is coming out with a competition red dot and a competition green dot, the HE507 comp. It's a large window dot. I'll be doing a whole episode just on large window dots, who offers them, how big they are. We'll do a comparison, the whole 9 yards. The price point, not too shabby, about $375-ish. That's the exact quote, $375-ish. And they should be hitting market end of Q2. So I said, so by the beginning of Q3, they should be good. And he said, yeah. So the beginning of Q3 is July 1. So about July 1, somewhere in that, mid-June to mid-July, somewhere in there, start. If you're a Holosun fan, or you just want to check them out, or you want a competition dot, you don't want to kill yourself with price, Holosun is making one, and it will be available this year. Now, I saw these guys on social media, and I wanted to make sure I checked them out. Infinity Targets. I've got a sample. I was able to touch their stuff and mess with it. And it's like recycled rubber is what I want to call it. All right. If you see the picture on the right where it says ID, the bullet's supposed to be an I, that has between 4,000 and 5,000 rounds through it. And it's still in very shootable condition. It's self-sealing. You don't have to use pasters. Just spray a little paint over it and keep going. Now, here's the cool part. Obviously, they're more pricey than cardboard targets, but cardboard targets get wet. They're no good. You shoot enough in the middle, they're no good. Pasters tend to fall off in cold weather. There's a lot of pluses to cardboard, but there's also a lot of minuses. The only minus to this one would be is that it does have a shelf life, meaning shooting shelf life. But like I said, this one has 4,000 to 5,000 rounds on it. And if you're not shooting hollow points through it, you're going to probably, their website says 3,000, but if that one has 4,000 to 5,000 and has all different calibers on it, it's got shotgun and some other stuff, then there's no reason to expect less than, I would say, 5,000 rounds on one of these. This is something that if you go to the range frequently, you have access, you have a range at your house. They just use clamps. They just clamp onto some wood or whatever, and you can start shooting away. Oh, I almost forgot, because I was going to mention it earlier. I almost forgot. I was standing there at the booth, listening to him talk to someone else. And the guy was like, hey, we use a different target. Is there any way you could put that target on that material? And the guy's like, you send me a picture of whatever it is you have, and I can make your target like that. So that is something else too. If you wanted an IPSC drawing on it, then he could put an IPSC target drawing on it. If you wanted IDPA, he could put IDPA on there. So there's a lot of functionality and versatility with this thing. And if it were me, I get tired of changing cardboard targets out on my frames every time I go to the range. If I were to increase my shooting again, I think this is something I would go with. Not saying you have to, or not even saying you should. I'm just saying this might be something to look into. This is infinity targets. All right, guys, that's what I've got for now. I do have a video from Matrix Arms, which I will download. The owner slash CEO did a video for me, and they make a pump action 5.56. It is wild, and it's in the video. So once I get it, I get back home. It's Friday today. I fly back home tomorrow. So within the next 3 to 4 days, I'll make sure all that stuff is up. Very interesting video. I'm hoping the audio is okay because he's a very soft-spoken guy. I had to get pretty close to him to hear him. But hopefully that turns out okay. I'll post that video. I've got a video of the Williams sisters and talking about shooting in 2023, that type of thing. So we've got some more stuff that I'll be posting. Like I said, I'm going to do an optics comparison with just large window optics. All right. And I'll see you on the next one. Don't be a little bitch.